In this module of our chapter on place, we will be discussing personal selling. Our learning objective for this module is to explain what personal selling is and when, where, and how it is used as a distribution channel. For this module, we will define personal selling to be when one or more persons help another person or group of people understand products or services well enough to make an informed purchase decision. Personal selling takes place in various locations throughout the marketplace. Personal selling is conducted in retail outlets, at the seller's place of business, at the buyer's place of business, and in a variety of neutral locations. Personal selling is most often done in one or more face-to-face meetings. That can be done also over the telephone or using video conferencing technology. For a variety of reasons, capable sellers are in high demand and are compensated at a higher rate than the average employee of a company. Historically, salespeople have been paid some form of commission or bonus when they succeed in selling a product or service. This variable form of compensation can be supplemented by a fixed form of income, such as a base salary. The mix of fixed and variable compensation is referred to as the salesperson's total cash compensation. Because the cost of personal selling is so much higher than other channels of distribution, the decision to use this channel must be made carefully and only after understanding all that is involved in building an organization of personal sellers. Personal sellers are used to distribute products when customers need or want their help in making purchase decisions. They may need or want their help for a variety of reasons, having to do with the complexity of the product, the newness of the product, or the need to coordinate the involvement of many different stakeholders in the buying center. They may also require personal sellers because that is the way they have always made those kinds of purchase decisions in the past, and they are reluctant to do it any other way. Personal sellers are used to sell a wide variety of products to a wide variety of buyers in a wide variety of ways. They range from products that are very simple and straightforward, sold in retail outlets like clothing, furniture, cell phones, or mattresses, to more complicated products that are sold at the buyer's place of business, like office supplies, office equipment, office technologies, and consulting services. Personal selling sits on a very broad spectrum that can be described somewhere between two extremes where things like product complexity and product cost are concerned. The more complicated or expensive the product is, the longer it takes to understand it well enough to be able to make a purchase decision. The longer it takes to make a purchase decision, the longer it takes for the seller to make a sale. This is referred to as the sales cycle. The longer the sales cycle, the smaller the number of buyers that a salesperson can work with in a given period of time, and the smaller the number of sales that can actually be made. The ripple effect of a longer sales cycle required to sell a lower number of more complicated products is the need to supplement the seller's income with a higher amount of fixed compensation. Sellers who sell a higher volume of simpler products on a more predictable basis are typically paid the majority of their income through variable compensation or commissions. Personal sellers are sometimes mischaracterized as being dishonest, manipulative, heavy-handed, and unprofessional in the ways that they interact with buyers. There are a variety of reasons for why sellers have been stereotyped this way, not the least of which is that there are some sellers that behave in such a manner. But the sellers who behave unprofessionally are in the great minority, usually working in sales situations where they have not received proper training and education, and where they have nothing to lose by behaving badly. The majority of personal sellers must conduct themselves in a professional manner at all times, lest they lose the trust of the buyer, which is the cornerstone of any successful buyer-seller relationship. Sellers want to work with buyers who are able to build and maintain good working relationships that allow them to have meaningful conversations about business problems and business opportunities and the solutions thereto, so that informed purchase decisions can be made about fit or value. Personal selling is best conducted following a script in the case of a very short one-call sales cycle, or in longer sales cycles using a defined sales process. Sales scripts and processes vary from product to market, from product to product and from market to market, but are most productive when they are aligned with the buyer's purchasing process. And so let's do this one again. Personal selling is best conducted following a script or a process. Sales scripts and processes vary from product to product and market to market, but are most productive when they are aligned with the buyer's purchasing process. The development of the selling process may start with something that is very generic, and over time and with experience, evolve into something that is very specific to the company, the product, the markets, and the industries that are being served. Elements found in many, if not most, professional selling processes include prospecting and lead generation, discovery, which includes the identification of buyer needs, and qualification for their ability to make a purchase, the presentation and demonstration of the product capability, the overcoming of customer objections, the negotiation of a final purchase agreement, and the close of the sale, followed by delivery and service. There are a wide variety of sales roles that can exist in a company's sales organization. These roles are determined by the way that the company has chosen to segment the markets they are selling into and the sales process that they are using. Each role has its own responsibilities, and the characteristics required to perform that role adequately will vary. While the characteristics of a successful seller vary across roles, products, and industries, it is generally agreed that they are the combination of some set of knowledge, skill, experience, behaviors, and personal attributes or intangibles. A high-performing sales organization is comprised of high-performing salespeople that are organized, trained, equipped, and motivated to behave in ways that lead to optimal performance. In conclusion, personal selling is critical to the success of most B2B organizations and many B2C organizations. It is difficult. It is expensive. All that goes into it is underestimated. But if done correctly, it can be the most rewarding thing that a company or an individual can do.